Well, it's been more than 6 months now since Vicksburg police shot and killed a teenager while trying to serve a warrant.
But few details have emerged about that deadly night. Not because of confusion, but silence. Deliberate silence from the city that was responsible.
Investigative reporter CJ LeMaster joins us tonight to explain in his special investigation, Deadly Silence. CJ?
Howard, Courtney, and we try to give you more information with each story we put on the air. Tonight, it's the lack of information from the city of Vicksburg that's our focus right now. After months of digging, we found a city and police department at odds with each other over their role in the shooting that left a black teen dead.
I would definitely ask the public to be mindful and patient and let this investigation take place.
Less than 24 hours after one of her officers fatally shot 17-year-old Amarian Thomas, Vicksburg Police Chief Penny Jones addressed reporters. The information Jones shared over the course of a 2-minute interview where she took no questions would serve to be the only information released from the city about the shooting that ended Thomas's life. The chief said an alleged burglary in late November where someone shot at an officer led to the deadly confrontation a week later. When police arrived to serve a warrant at a home on Bazinski Road December 4th, that's when things escalated.
Once the officers arrived, a gun was displayed and officers took action, and unfortunately it ended in that person's life being ended.
The chief then directed any other questions to the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation. You see, in Mississippi, MBI is tasked with investigating all shootings involving police officers. But we still had questions, so WLBT started filing records requests 9 days after the shooting. We asked for arrest warrants, denied. Search warrants, denied. The incident report, denied too, even though those are always public record by law. Associate City Attorney Kiana Henry wouldn't budge. She said she couldn't release the reports or warrants until after MBI finishes its investigation.
Can a local agency use the fact that another agency's taken over investigations as a blanket excuse to avoid producing records?
Absolutely not. I mean, if that record exists in the public body's file and it is not specifically exempt, it must be turned over.
WLBT's attorneys agreed, sending this letter. At this point, it's now February. In the weeks and months that followed, the city made promises but released nothing.
When somebody refuses to give you information, one wonders if there is a reason that there's something to hide. And that's disturbing. So it's really disturbing on many levels that they would not respond in the most basic fashion with an incident report.
Finally, in May, we sent a letter warning the city they were violating state law, and we were going to let taxpayers know about it. In response, Henry said something that seemed to contradict the city's original story. She told us there was no incident report. Police never created one. Not even a basic public record about the shooting that left 17-year-old Amarian dead. If that's true, it's a problem.
Documentation in any police incident is very important. Complete and accurate documentation is even more important. And when there's a critical incident such as an officer-involved shooting, that's even more the importance to have this incident documented.
You see, Vicksburg's police department is accredited. Derek Jordan with the state's Training and Standards Division wouldn't comment specifically on the Vicksburg situation, but says accredited agencies are held to a much higher standard.
We're going to be accountable, we're going to be transparent, and we're going to practice the best practices in law enforcement that law enforcement has to offer. And that's what these accredited standards are. And if you're not prescribing to what you are accredited for, that's very disheartening.
Does the failure to produce or even acknowledge basic records reflect poorly on a department's professionalism?
I would say yes, it does.
What kind of a message do you think that sends?
If you're not reporting something, it gives the public the sense that, hey, if you're not reporting, that means you could be hiding something.
We told the city that this appears to be a violation of the department's accreditation standards and again demanded the report. The city waited until the day before our story aired to send a lengthy response and finally released some of what we requested. They also doubled down on their reason for not creating an incident report.
So CJ, tell us, what did they end up sending us and releasing?
Well, so we just hours before the story aired, the city finally turned over a supplemental report tied to that burglary case, and in it, they actually described the shooting that killed Amarian Thomas on December 4th.
And so, CJ, is that basically the same thing as an incident report?
Well, it's close.
Okay.
It sounds like one,
Yeah.
but here's the thing. It wasn't filed as a standalone case. It was actually buried under a previous one. So unless you knew to ask for that supplemental report, or if you spent months pressuring the city to follow the law like we did, you'd never get it, and that's the problem. Meanwhile, the city still contends it didn't withhold anything the public has a right to see.
All right, CJ, thanks a lot.